Herzlich willkommen zu Oxpoon, dem Technikmagazin mit Wolfgang Rudolph.
A very warm welcome to Oxpoon, a technical magazine with Wolfgang Rudolph. Hello and a warm welcome. I would like to talk to you today about something which you cannot see. Here. Dust. Everywhere in our environment we have dust. And since the last 20 years it has become aware to people, particulate matter, dust that is so fine, 10 millionth of a meter is the size. Naturally also smaller, which pollutes our environment, but mostly we humans. So in this particulate matter, there are at the moment for me bad discussions which give vehicles the blame, but that is not true. Matthias Kringer from the Fraunhofer Institute in Dresden had for a while taken a very clear position to this. Only 4 to 8% of the particulate matter is caused through vehicles, but the production of the particulate matter is, so to say, even less made from vehicles. 0 to 4%. But where does the rest come from? We have a limit of 50 microgram in towns, and 40 micrograms are already there in principle. For all in winter, it happens with invasion weather situations, when the cold air is above, which pushes down onto the warmer air, in which in the 2000 meters, where the fine dust is pushed together, to 200 meters. And then it is clear that the concentration is much higher, and without even one vehicle being driven. That vehicles have to be made clean is no theme at all. But even if we change today to electric cars or with horse-driven or bicycles, or we all go to foot, we would whirl up so much fine dust that it wouldn't stand out that we don't drive our vehicles. An ideological discussion over this I would wish for, that own fronts are not tried to be put first. For us this doesn't mean anything. We have to take it as it is, but we can inform ourselves, and we have the possibility in many areas to measure. Because fine dust we cannot see. Fine dust in the magnitude of 10 micrometers or 2.5 micrometer is not possible even with a microscope. We have problems, but I just want to see how clean the air is in here, in Westerwald. I have made a few recordings outside and had a look when cars drive past what changes and how much it changes. And maybe you will be jealous when I start the film. Attention, it is starting. That is what the construction looks like. We have stood a measuring device from PC there. Now a car drives past, and when we look at it, and the values are a dream. It has gone a little higher as the car passed, but it accumulates and counts up. You can actually see that vehicles do something, maybe not throw out but whirl up the fine dust. And you can see here when a truck comes, I thought now the device will explode, but no, it isn't that bad. That means for us we have to measure how high is the fine dust and how high do we have to measure. And what can we do maybe against this? We have also natural erosion. We also have devices like laser printers which produce fine dust. All this we can measure, or wood heating at your home. Now where it's getting cold outside, you have to naturally heat more up. I thought myself that would bring much more fine dust, but it isn't. Maybe outside, but not in the house. And to measure all of this we need precise measuring devices. And they are all in totally different sizes, and the price is also different. And you have to think of what do you need. Do I need a high precision device for a clean room, for example, when I have productions of, for example, durable production? Do I have to have extreme clean air? Or is it enough to just have a look at my working place? How does it look like at the moment? and I have had a look at them.
RCM 10 von PCE ist ein Luftqualitätsmessgerät.
The RCM 10 from PCE is an air quality measuring device with which you can see how the air is very well at your working place or in your office or even at home. Did you know that a normal adult around 10 to 20 cubic meters of air every day inhales? 10 to 20 cubic meters. 10 cubic meters are around 2.2 times 2.2 times 2.5 meter. A room with 2.2 meter and 2.5 meters high, we breathe this in. We take also from the weight around 12 to 24 kilograms air daily in. More than we eat or drink. And in this air is the fine dust which goes through our nose, which can cause asthma. But when it is fine at 2.5 micrometer, which then can also cause cancer in the extreme case, because it goes into the lung and then into the blood vessels. Such a small device like this here helps to estimate how the air quality by meter is, if it is anywhere alarming. And when we look onto it here at the bottom, we can see there is a green area, that is a 3-minute time area, and you can see in the last 3 minutes how fine dust was determined from the device. It is a particle counter. It counts in a certain process very fine particles, and as you can see here, I have extremely clean air. And when I now switch over, then it is displayed PM 2.5 or 2.5 micrometer. I am in the area of 13 microgram per cubic meter. 14, now 15. And when I switch it over further, I get displayed parallel 2.5 PM and PM 10 that are 27 microgram per cubic meter, so the air here is good. It works so there is a small fan in it and it sucks the air inside and the air is tested for its quality. There are different processes for this, and then it is blown back out. A power pack is built in and the device runs around 5 hours. It also has a timer and turns off automatically. If you want to measure for half an hour, I can charge it using USB, and it is also a temperature and humidity meter. You can see this at the bottom. If we look here, we become this displayed. So a device which you can put on your workplace once and be very happy when you get values like this. Or by the relevant employee, tell that you think the air around is not very good and is not so clean. But at home, something like this is also very important. Not only interesting because when the burden is too high and the family have health problems, so this little device, when I put my hand around it, you can see that it is pretty small. It is called the PCE-RCM 10, a sensible device with which you can gain a little security from that what you cannot see, the fine dust. From PCE, the MPC 10, this device what I have here, it is ideal for example in a workshop where grinding work is done. It doesn't matter if it is a joinery or in a car workshop or somewhere else. If you want to measure the air quality and want to save the results, 5,000 datasets can the device save. They are stored, which I will show you soon with time and date, and naturally the values in this seemingly small but powerful device. I'll start it so you can see and hear it. So now you can hear it. Inside works a fan that sucks the environmental air into it. It is here at the top. I don't want to put my finger onto it. sucked in and analyzed, and the measured values are shown on the display after 30 seconds. And when we look now, you can see top right, a timer is counting down. It needs now 9 seconds. It counts also up. It is a particle counter. Then it calculates it to cubic meter. Now we can see by 2.5 micrometer we have 5 microgram per cubic meter. And by 10 micrometer, 12 gram per cubic meter. Clean air is here in the studio, and the temperature is shown at the bottom, and the humidity, which is important. A power pack is built in. You can charge it using the USB, but even when it is charging you can still work with it. Now we can go into the menu. Let's go first to the menu. I promised that. Here we can see the save measured values. I can go through them and choose the measured value I want. There are some there which are high. I did this deliberately, and when I go into the measured value, then I get it displayed. And what at this time, which is shown above on the 10th of the 10th 2017 at 3 minutes past 1 p.m. what was measured. I measured here wood fire smoke. We come to it soon. That is clearly higher. The value is here somewhere. There you can see it clearly high, and below the indicator is near the red area. And when we go further, it goes back down. So a device which the air quality can be determined, it measures, or more counts you have to say, as well as 2.5 micrometer and 10 micrometer. And it is meant that smaller as the subject is measured. That means from 2.5 to 10 isn't measured, just 2.5 and smaller, and with 10 the 2.5 is inclusive. That is by all the devices, they all work so. As we have seen, a handy device. I have stood it on a tripod. I took a small camera tripod for that. You can naturally take this off and take it in your hand. Then you can totally mobile in workshops or office or at home in the child's room, which is important. Everywhere where you think you need the security, how it is with my air quality. You can use it and operate, and after 30 seconds, as I said, is the measured value there, and it is shown. I'll start it again, because the operating is very simple. Even though complex measuring is being done. As you can see at the top, the time is being counted out, and you can see how the particle measurement and the counting works. It is counted up, and subsequently I become my measured results. It stays in the display until I do a new measurement, or I save this measured result. It's nearly finished, that's it. So a device which is very handy and very useful from PCE. A particle counter, an air quality measuring device from PCE with the term PCE-PCO1. That is what I have here on the table. And it is a very fine device, because that what it can measure and document and can it outstanding. I'll turn it first on. You have to hold the on switch for 4 seconds, then the display comes with a tree on it. That is all basically. Now I have the possibility using enter to go into the corresponding menu. And when we have a look now at the display and I start a measurement, I have set the interval, the measuring time, to 30 seconds, and it counts down, and you can see how it accumulates, and the particle, now I can tell you, and you can see for yourself, not only 2.5 and 10 microparticle measures, but it sorts also 0.3, 0.5 and 1 micrometer, as well as 5 micrometer particle in extra areas which it measures, and subsequently shows very extensive and differentiated the measured results with this device. We have here on the top the funnel again, exactly standardized, that we get the right measurement. I haven't opened this yet. It is for the humidity and the temperature sensor, because that is naturally measured too. And when I turn the device around, we can see at this point the optic of a camera. With this I can record pictures. The picture when I am in a works hall or so, on the street or anywhere, or a video is saved with it. It has an internal memory of 80 megabytes. I can expand the memory with a micro SD card of 8 gigabytes. And then I have a fast complete documentation, single particle sizes and the time and the date, the humidity and temperature, even a picture or video where I've taken these measurements.
Die Art der Dokumentation ist natürlich sehr schön. 4 Stunden läuft mit einer Akkuladung.
The type of documentation is good. 4 hours it can run with the battery. When I go to here, you can see a power adapter is inclusive, also a USB interface. It can also be charged with this. So a very nice universal applicable device. With this I have also done measurements on the streets, and I have to say it is handy. This small tripod which you have just seen is delivered with it, naturally with charger and so forth, and with that it can be used straight away. If you want to know if the device measures properly or want to calibrate it or something, then there is a NOT particle filter with it. It is simply screwed on top here instead of the measuring funnel, and here can no particles come into it. It looks like though as if you can attach something to it, but that thing is just closed for all particles, and then it should not show anything in the display. A device with which in high clean rooms quality measurements can be done. A device where it is important measurements can be done. If fine dust, which sort, which PM, which particle size is there. And fine dust we have everywhere. By the way, measuring methods. There are different measuring methods. Today you measure lots using a laser beam, because the single particle you cannot count, you cannot see them, and in principle it is the same. The beam is sent through the particle and the beam is darkened, so that on the receiver it notes there is a small difference. Maybe you've seen how far away planets are recognized. By a sun which is light years away, a little planet goes by as a small dark point, and this small change they say, look, there is something going around the sun. In principle the same, but much smaller. A measurement passes through the device, but it has to be precise, because when you think a particle of 0.3 micrometer, 0.3 millionth meter, recognize and detect, technique belongs to it. A very nice device. I am totally thrilled, and in many areas where it is needed or by law demanded, it does good service.
3 Partikelzähler von PCE habe ich
3 particle counter from PCE I have presented. I have set them back up here, which count all particle but very differently. as well as in the quality as in the resolution of the particle, and in other areas. Here we have the small device, so to say, which continually measures and shows what has measured. That is the RCM10, and that can run continually. The other two, when they are started for a certain time active, work on measured values, take the environmental air in. For example, this one here, the MPC-10, we saw this as well. And then the very large one. Here I have an endless setting possibilities. I can set the measuring period, I can tell it to do more measurement after another, and so forth. The memory card, which has recorded data I can work with on a PC, whatever I want to do. So the PCO1, let's say the largest, not only from its casing but its measuring scope, is that device which is used in the professional area. 3 devices which are more important in our environment and help us with the discussion about fine dust hazards, to objectify and to let us see what we cannot see with our own eyes. I wish you lots of fun, and I'm looking forward to the next time. Goodbye.